at full power, I'm sure it draws, probably amp. Well, don't forget, it's running on 120 volts. Probably only draws them maybe 5 or 6 amps.
Into a regular outlet.
Amplifier. I have to calculate these things.
Oh, you're talking about the hunting camp. That's a different story. Well, come on, that radio doesn't draw much power at all. It would be insignificant compared to the amplifier.
I know that, but I'm concerned about the combined effect on the generator. The military generator on a trailer.
Well, shop around. eBay. Let your fingers do the walking. Craigslist.
Yeah.
Chain it to a tree thing.
Yeah, Bill, what's an on-on? Does that mean you flip it one way, it's on, you flip it the other way, it's on, you got 3 lugs, the center one's off?
Yeah, but you're looking for a momentary one, so just make sure it says momentary. Yep. I guess in both directions it would be momentary. It could be, well, like I said, I have had switches that are latching in one direction and momentary in the other direction.
Yeah, but I need some of these too. These look like the radio. Okay, yeah. Wow, that's cheap. They're $4.99 for 10 of them, and they're in where are they? They're in California, so they're not. It ain't in China, so it won't take 10 weeks to get here. That's cheap.
Yeah, but they're probably all burned up by now.
I don't think so. They're new. So that's 10 of those. Okay, put that add to favorites right there. Add to favorites. There we go. And now I got to get the momentary ones. Okay.
I guess you haven't been watching the news lately about California. The whole state burned up. There's nothing left. By the way, you need to go crystal control because I think your VFO is starting to drift.
Oh, yeah, it probably is. Let me see. Oh, yeah, you're right. It is.
Yeah. So you see that complete whole towns. One town with the name Paradise. How ironic is that? The whole town burned to the ground.
Okay, I'm on crystal control now. Who cares about California? I hope the rest of it you have an earthquake and it falls into the ocean.
Yeah, but even if the people's politics aren't agreeable to me, I don't like to see people's houses burned down. My goodness, that's horrible.
Well, I hear you okay, Chet. No, I'd say there's more than that. I can't tell because I don't have the screen up. Right now I'm on eBay looking at switches. Let me put you in a log here. Yeah. So I can't tell you what your signal is because I ain't looking at it. But yeah, I hear you fine, no problem.
Good evening, gentlemen. It's always a pleasure. SPH. I don't know what to do. If you use the same microphone thing, not a given.
Oh my goodness.
Too much compression.
Yeah, analysis. That's it, Chet. I don't know what it was. I'm going to bring it in the shack and probably play with it, but I've always had interest in the one-on-one echo. And 718, albeit a great rig, it's boring in comparison.
I don't know if you so if anybody I forget the name. I should get that too. that sort of thing.
Okay. So, what's with the Texas traffic net? Now they do the Pledge of Allegiance when they are interfering with other stations. Is that supposed to make their illegal operation legal by doing the Pledge of Allegiance?
Is that what they're doing? I'll tell you, for somebody that breaks all kinds of federal rules, they got a lot of goddamn nerve playing the Pledge of Allegiance.
Hey, and that radio at 300 watts is approximately 2.5 amps at 110 volts.
What radio?
What radio? Man, you are losing it. The 101.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't figure it was very much because it runs on 120 volts.
Well, if it ran at 220, it'd be half the current, so 2.5 amps I could probably live with.
Well, how big is your generator?
It's a 3100, which means real amps probably about 25.
Well, and what kind of amplifier is it?
It's an 80 alpha, and it does fine on the generator. The only issue I got with the damn generator is a lot of RFI out of the thing. I'm trying to suppress it, but I'm not having a lot of luck. I was able to cut it in half with the power line suppressor on it, and then I put another one in series, thought that would do it, and did not work.
Yeah, well, it might depend on what kind of alternator it is, what kind of generator. If it has brushes, there may not be anything you can do to keep it quiet. And most of those smaller generators have brushes, so yeah, it's tough. I used to have an AL80A. That was actually the first amplifier I ever had for HF back around 1990, 89, somewhere back there. That's a pretty old amp, but they're good. They tune easily, and they're good little amps.
Yes, they are. I love it. It's that single-ended 3500 just does its job. And very, like you said, very easy to tune, very easy to work on. Good, solid little amplifier. But it's heavy lugging that son we're going to run. And the issue with the generator is that it's an inverter generator, and the RF is being generated, or the hash, whatever you want to call it, is being generated on the extension cord itself. If you unplug everything and you have the radio on DC, obviously the 718, there's no noise. You plug it in, the whole building radiates the crap.
Well, that ain't no good.
No, comes right in the antennae.
Really? Wow. Well, that's not good at all. But what are you gonna do? I'm sure there's ways to to circumvent that somehow. K1 keep baffling Washington.
Yeah, there is. You throw it away.
America's great. Have you tried different length extension cords?
Well, you guys out there are normally well over SA. So
I thought I keyed up fast.
But I could bring my big liquid cool Honda out there, but it's a little noisier. I can live with it the way it is. And I don't, for example, I don't know how much more susceptible to this noise a 101 would be versus the 718, you know? You never know.
This is true.
I doubled with you a little bit at the beginning of that transmission. Have you tried different length extension cords?
Oh, yeah, I did that. I thought of all of that good stuff. I tried different length, different gauges, different routing. It seems to be a very efficient radiator.
Yeah. And that noise is probably being generated in the inverter. Yeah, I don't know. I've never had to try and quiet down an inverter generator. There must be ways to do it, but it may not be worth it. You know, it may mean taking the whole thing apart and changing some components, But man, you would think you'd be able to filter anything.
Yeah, you would. Well, you know, it's not in the inverter itself, or rather it is, and it's superimposed on the AC and then radiated to the cable, and it's a pain in the neck. But I tried. Of course, I power the whole trailer with the generator and tried it off an outlet, and then I got a heavy cable and ran it directly to the generator, thinking, well, maybe if we get rid of all of that wire in the trailer, it'll work. But it didn't. So, oh well. Like I said, I can live with it unless it was a 20/9. I can get most everybody with little interference, like you quiet the frequency right down. Unless it's a weak signal. I just set the squelch for S8. If nobody's over S8, I don't talk to them.
Have you run that same setup just using a regular old-fashioned generator without the inverter?
Nah, I might try that just for the heck of it. Because, like I said, it could be the radio in particular that's more susceptible. Who knows? It requires a lot of time, effort, and experimentation, which I'll probably get around to doing when I feel like it, but right now my fetish was getting the Drake radios running. I got them running again, so got to move on to the next thing, I would guess.